All right. Well, let me flip it on you. So you just said UConn is a team that you think can make a run in a wide open year. I'm gonna flip it back to you. The question we just got in the chat. Duke. I'm watching them. I'm seeing Kyle Filipowski today, 22 points, 8 for 10 shooting, 16 minutes. Derek Lively had maybe his best offensive game. They scored 96 points, and Tyrese Proctor and Jeremy Roach combined for 20 points, 16 assists, and 2 turnovers against the team that played for the ACC championship on the last day of the regular season. Talk me out of it, because I'm sitting here like, yo, Duke could make a Final Four. Is that crazy?
Wouldn't that be something? After last year and everything that transpired with Coach K, his last game against North Carolina at home in Cameron, and then they get whipped. And then they go to the Final Four in New Orleans. North Carolina gets them again. And then Duke this year all but shut the door on them. Yeah. Said, hey, you're not going to the tournament. Yeah. We know you had big expectations. We're not going to let you go.
And we both know that was the motivation that they had.
There's no question.
No question that they thinking
it was almost
send them home.
It was almost poetic.
No doubt.
No, I think this Duke team, as you've seen the season go forward, Derek Lively at the beginning of the year, he was dealing with some injuries. And his growing period was the back half or the last week of December and January. Now you're starting to see what he can be defensively. I mean, a big-time rim protector. He does a lot of things, a lob threat. He's not the jump shooter I thought he had the potential to be, and he very well may be later in his career because it's not broken. But Kyle Filipowski has kind of kept them afloat. But give John Shire credit, guys. Like, he's figured and tinkered with his roster and found the right guys. Derek Whitehead's done a night. It's Derek. They said it Derek on TV. I've said Derek all year. Of course, I mispronounce it because it's becoming a thing. But he gets back in. He has been a solid role player that can score a lot of points as a role player because he just lets the game come with him. And that goes all the way back to him playing at Montverde with all these superstars on one of the best high school teams in history. But I digress. This whole thing came down. This whole thing came, Rob, when they switched the guard spots. Mm-hmm. When Proctor was gone, when Proctor went 2-1.
You made this point on the DTF pod.
Yeah,
you made it on After Dark.
This whole season for Duke changed when he switched the guard spots. He let Jeremy Roach become a 2-guard and attack on the second side of the offense. He let Tyrese Proctor, who's very much a setup guy, who's willing to give the ball up and then get it back and then attack. I think Roach was a little bit more geared to take it and go right away. Now Roach is attacking on the second side. He can be aggressive. He can be an assist guy there, but the ball's moving a little bit more. And Tyrese Proctor, man, you said at the beginning of the season, and buddy, you nailed it. It was like so talented, big, physical. I feel like the guy's still growing. Like he looks taller now than he did in November. I don't know how that's possible.
I think today is.
I mean, I know that's possible.
They had the perfect matchup today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pitt small, Duke is massive inside. They're underrated defensively. And I think interiorly and at the rim, they may be the best interior defensive team in the country because of their length. And it makes it difficult for anybody to score on them. And so their guard, you got really good side. I thought early on they made the switch because they had to. Now Tyrese Proctor has just elevated his game.
Yeah,
I think he's elevated it now where it's like we can attack you in multiple facets now with 2 guards, because before it was you couldn't ask Jeremy Roach to bring it up and run the offense and then also break you down. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it just made sense to say, hey, let's kick it over to let him do it now. Tyrese Proctor's doing that at his size. He's comfortable doing it. They're healthy. This team's healthy.
You called this in the preseason. You said it in the preseason. They were banged up and they were young, and it was going to take a while for them to get there. But if they got there, they had a really high ceiling. And I think we're starting to see that ceiling a little bit. Listen. Hey guys, just a reminder, our sponsor for today's episode is Run Your Pool. They are hosting the Field of 68 Bracket Challenge. This year, they are giving away $1,500 in free prizes. It's all an incentive for you to get on there and find out just how good their platform is. I've been using them for my bracket pools for years. I've used them for Super Bowl squares. I use them for everything that I need to use them for. The biggest survivor pool that I'm in for both NFL and NCAA tournament is by Run Your Pool. So go check them out. The link's below. Tap in.